So I'm a director myself. I'm 15 years old. I've only made short films so far, but I love making them. I've been making films of some sort since I was 6. It's my passion. It's what I want to do when I'm older. A few of my films have kind of gotten some exposure, which is like super cool, and I just love sharing this form of art with people. A lot of people ask me how they can get started with directing, just because they're interested in it or just because they just want to. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to get started with directing. If you have any interest to be a director, a filmmaker, I'm going to tell you how to get started with that. So I'm going to start off with kind of telling you guys how I got started with directing. I've always been a creative person. I've always had a draw towards the arts. When I was 6, my dad bought my sister and I this cheap little camera thing, and the way we played was by making art. We'd make films, we'd make plays. I was probably about 10. This was like before I started middle school. I would have my friends over. We'd make these like really bad movies, but they were so much fun. It was such a great like bonding experience for me and my friends. That's like one thing that I love about the time that we live in now, is that it's so easy for anyone to get started and pick up a new passion just because there's so many resources available to us. So even though I started making films at a very young age, it's never too late for someone to pick up a new passion. So even if you're not like 10 or 6, you can totally start filmmaking now if you're interested in it. It's never too late to pick up a new passion. So my main advice when you just want to start out is just to start filming stuff. It's gonna be bad at first, like that's just, you can't avoid that. You're not gonna start out an award-winning director, like that's just not how it works. So just know that when you're starting, it's not gonna be impeccable work, but it will be if you keep at it. And I think consistency is the most important thing when trying to hone in on something and like get good at a certain talent. So obviously I was very interested in making films. I would make them with my friends. So then I decided to leave my school and go to a different school that had a film program. Tip number, I've probably said tips before, but I'm just gonna say this is tip number 1. If your school or wherever you're at has a film program or any resources that are available for you to kind of collaborate with other people and learn how to make films, I highly suggest that you do that, because that's the reason that I know everything that I do now, and that's the reason that I was able to make films. I probably would have made films even if I wasn't forced to, but it really, the push of having to do it for a class really helped me want to do a good job and want to put effort into it and actually want to do it. So we learned about camera angles, we learned about how to edit, we learned about how to direct our actors in a good way. So definitely film school helped me to learn about filmmaking, as it does. If your school or wherever you're at doesn't have a program, there are so many resources online. I edit in an app called Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a pretty professional editing software. I learned how to use it from YouTube. If you want to learn specific things, if you want to learn how to use a camera or a software, or you want to learn about camera angles, literally just do a YouTube search and you will find everything that you need to know. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. If you want to make films, you have to make films. And I know that's like honestly what everyone says, the most basic piece of information, but they say that for a reason. You have to just make something. No one's gonna motivate you but yourself. As every year went by, I kept getting better, as you do, and you keep making things, you keep getting better every time. As you progress more, start writing screenplays, revise it, ask for advice on it. Once you're done with that, just grab your friends who are interested in acting. Everyone get together, whip out your handy dandy camera, and then just have them recite the lines, think of different ways to film it, different like camera angles to go by. Once you have all that, throw it into iMovie or whatever you're gonna use to edit and piece it together, and then you have a film. It's really not as hard as it seems. Obviously, like actual feature films, actual productions have so many people on crew, so many different things to worry about. But when you're just starting out, you don't have to worry about all those things, and that's kind of like the luxury of it. I still don't have a full crew. I can't afford to pay anyone. I don't need a full crew. Obviously, if I want to move forward with this, I'm going to have to start learning more about it, and that's just the cool thing about it, is that you're always learning things. No one knows everything about everything. No one knows everything about film. You're always learning and you're always growing, and that's the thing. You get better and better every time. Even if you fall flat on your face, you learn something from it, and I cannot stress that enough. If you have a passion for it, I say go for it. It's such an amazing way to express yourself. I'm so grateful that I have film in my life and I'm able to express myself through this like amazing art form. Bye guys. See you later.